Okay, for today's lesson, what you're going to do is you're going to be creating the code or the program that goes in this workspace over here for the app that you've created 3 screens for. So if you look at the instructions here, you're adding on event blocks, which look like this. They say on event. And when you click and drag it to the right, what you'll notice is inside of it pops up a little green box, and then there's a space to put something inside, okay? So we're going to practice this, and you're going to need an on event for any action that happens on an app, any user-related event. So in this case, you have buttons on every single screen that the user is interacting with. So each of those buttons needs to have its own on event that takes it to whatever it needs to do, all right? So let's do an example. This on event, let's do for this types of flowers button. Okay, notice when I roll over it with my mouse, it says type button, so I know what the name of the button is. You also could go into your design and click on it if you wanted to find out the name of something there. And I'm on my main screen here. So this types of flower button, I want to take it to my types screen so that every time a user is on my main screen, they can find out the types of flowers by clicking on that button. So I'm going to go to the on event, I'm going to click the drop down, and notice that all of the different names, all the different descriptive IDs for my buttons and any other information is already listed here, right? So the computer already knows that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click type button. I want this to happen anytime the user clicks on it, right? So the click is the action. Then I'm going to go down to set screen, because what do I want when I click on that? Well, I want the screen to change. I want it to change to the type screen. So I'm going to switch that to type screen. Now if I click run, when I click on the types of flowers button, it takes me to the types of flowers screen, all right? So that's exactly what I wanted it to do. Notice if I click on these other buttons, nothing happens because I didn't program them, right? I didn't program any of those. So what you need to do, if you have 2 buttons on every single page and you have 3 different, or screen, sorry, you're gonna have 6 different on events, right? 2 buttons on every single screen. And you're gonna test it by clicking run and go through. So for example, I'm gonna drag another on event. It just goes right below it. This on event is this button, so that's called the buy button. And I'm going to click buy button. It's when you click it, and I want the screen to change, so I'm going to do set screen to buy screen. Now if I click run, types of flowers takes me there, right? We tested that one before. Where to buy takes me to the where to buy screen. So both of those work. So now I just have to go in and program for the other 2 screens. So let me just take myself to the type screen. I need an on event here for the home button. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to find home button. When it clicks, I want the screen to go back to my main screen. And then I'm going to add another on event for, this is called the buy button 2. So I'm going to go buy button 2, and I want my set screen to be the buy screen. Oops, buy screen. Okay, so now let me test this. So if I click on types of flowers, I can go home. And I can also go where to buy, all right? So lastly, I would have to program these last 2. So I'm gonna have an on event here, and this one is called, let me reset so I can get that. Go to my buy screen. This one's called home button 3. So I'm gonna find home button 3, and when I set the screen, I want it to go to the main screen, and I'm going to have one more on event. Notice I said 6 because there's a total of 6 buttons in my app. And the last one is called types button. And I'm going to find types button, and that is going to go to types screen. Okay, so again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different on events because I have 6 different buttons that users are interacting with. This function part in green, just ignore that for now. We're going to work on that a little bit later. So when you click run, you're going to test it. Types of flowers. Okay, let me go back. Where to buy. Good. Okay, now let's go where to buy. Home. Good. Where to buy types of flowers. So all of my buttons now work to get me to the different pages. Okay, and that's what you really need to do. You need to make sure that every single button will take you to wherever it's supposed to go.